Hello everyone, Minute Plus Meditation here, Saturday, April the 2nd, Feast of St. Francis of Paola. The reading is first reading from the prophet Jeremiah. Jeremiah cried out in anguish, it was the Lord who made it known to me, and I knew. Then you showed me their evil deeds. So Jeremiah is going through a real Jesus-like suffering in his life. He's pointing to Jesus. He's a type of Jesus in his own life. And he says, but you, O Lord of hosts, who judge righteously, who try the heart and the mind, let me see your retribution upon them. For to you I have committed my cause. So basically, Jeremiah knows the traps that are being laid for him. And he's praying honestly to the Lord that he be relieved from these. Who wouldn't in their right mind? Father, if there is another way, let it be done, but not my will, but thine be done. Right? Jesus wasn't rejoicing in the suffering he had to go through, but he was willing to do it for our salvation. And so here Jeremiah is praying, that if all these traps are being laid for me, and if there's another way, can you relieve me from this? But Jeremiah doesn't run away. That's the important thing for us. He doesn't abandon the battlefield. He doesn't abandon the Lord. But he's saying, I will trust you, Lord. I'm going to ask to be relieved of this suffering, but when all is said and done, I trust you. And I'm asking you to basically keep me safe from my enemies. Now, eventually we know that, and this is important for us to remember, is that Jeremiah will be martyred by these people. So did the Lord fulfill his promise or not? And the answer is yes. Not in a temporal way because he was martyred, but in an eternal way because he went to heaven. That's really what we're seeking, because martyrs die for the faith, right? Doesn't mean the Lord is not faithful to his promise, and also keeping Jeremiah faithful to the end, not allowing him to fall into despair and therefore give himself over to the enemy, to the real enemy, because there's only one real enemy, and that's the devil, Satan. Okay, so that's Jeremiah. And from the gospel, we are still, of course, with the Gospel of St. John, and Jesus had been teaching in the temple of Jerusalem. Then when the people heard this, they said, this is really the prophet. Others said, this is the Messiah. So the people are drawing, conclusions because of what Jesus is not only saying, but what he's doing. And the Pharisees want him, and the temple officials want him arrested. The people don't, or the soldiers don't arrest him. And then basically the police answered, never has anyone spoken like this. Then the Pharisees replied, surely you have not been deceived too, have you? So it shows that they're not interested in the truth. And this is the sad thing. They're not interested in the truth. They're interested in what they're interested in. And that's their own really defined, closed off conclusions. And Jesus, be damned, is going to change that. There's nothing he can do that will change their thinking. So it appears, at least to us. At least in the external form. God only knows what's going on in their hearts. Did some of these people convert? Some of them did convert, apparently, in the Acts of the Apostles, but which ones, we don't know. We just know a large portion of the priests converted to the faith. Which ones, if they were in the Sanhedrin, we don't know. But at least here, it appears that they're closed off, and they have their predetermined truths, and Jesus is not going to change their minds. He's trying, he's doing everything he can, but he's not going to change their minds. And the people are just drawing the natural conclusions that this must be the prophet. Now, the Pharisees will actually be, those who resist and are providing bad example to the people will undergo condemnation, because they're giving bad example to the people who are drawing the logical, supernatural, logical conclusion in faith that he is the Messiah. Because he's doing things that no human person can do. Teaching the truth, he's living an incredibly holy life. He's fulfilling prophecy. He's performing miracles that no creature can do. So he must be the Messiah. Now, if they were the right good leaders, they would say, he must be. We will help the people understand this. But no, they're not. They're providing bad example. So the people, remember, at the end of his life, the Pharisees will incite the crowds to ask for the crucifixion of Jesus. So leaders And I don't mean just myself as a leader, spiritual leader, but parents, we have an obligation to form our charges, according to the truth. I have an obligation to help people understand the truth, even if it may go against my own personal inclinations. And parents have that obligation as well to form their children according to the truth, even if they may have a hard time with it, because their children's salvation will depend on it. Their ability to work through situations in life that they need to arrive at the truth in order to successfully live and fruitfully live in accordance with God's will. That's the most important thing we can do for each other. So today, as you go through your day, and we continue going through the season of Lent, ask the Lord to really help you be resolved to always be a witness to the truth. God bless you.